I talked about this chick a while back. No, not that long. She's that dopey broad that got dumped by a matchmaker. You know how bad you have to be as a human being for a matchmaker not to want you? I mean, yowza. You know how bad you got to be for this matchmaker to, not want to inflict you upon their other clients? You got to be pretty bad. I mean, as a woman, especially, right? Because we men are easy. So if you're a woman who's so objectionable that even I don't want to take you on, it's like sure money, there's a problem. And apparently this woman doesn't think she has a problem, which I find interesting. She's not the worst looking woman I've ever seen. She's okay looking. She's not as great looking as she seems to think she is, though. And she's 38 years old, so she's rapidly declining. She's a rapidly depreciating asset, as they would say. But she doesn't seem to realize that she's that objectionable a human being, while at the same time she's having to pay someone to help her find a man. Now make that make sense. You actually have to pay someone thousands of dollars to help you find a date, but you don't know that you're the problem. Okay, lady. So I compiled a whole bunch of videos. It seems that she's back on the dating scene, and she actually was able to find herself another matchmaker. I guess there's people out there that'll just take money from anybody and they don't care about their reputation. Reputation be damned! I'll help anybody find a mate as long as you pay me my $3,999.99 fee. Yeah. All right. These are some funny videos, by the way. And I think you'll see why she's single and why so many modern women are single. And why by I think it's 2030, 45% of all women will be single. Wow. Yeah, because they're like this broad. Check this out. So this is the chick, Danielle, I believe her name is, the one that was dumped by the matchmaker. And I just wanted you to see, this woman who has such ridiculously high standards and is so lacking in self-awareness that she thinks that someone who is reduced to having to pay someone thousands of dollars to find her a mate, that person actually thinks that there's nothing wrong with them. The whole problem is the world and the dating scene, which is messed up, but that's because of women like this. So check this out.
Okay, y'all, plastic surgery before and after. I'm going to show you a before of the tummy tuck revision that I just had. This is scar revision, a little bit of lipo. Y'all, this is not a good look. You can definitely see that flap. You can
you ever heard of a gym, honey?
See that scar. It's all protruding. It is not cute. It is not snatched. Get ready for the after. Y'all, it is so good. Let's go. There she is. Nice and flat.
Yeah.
No pull that I can't pull down. I'm still a little sore.
Her ass is too big. There's a lot of junk in the trunk. This woman's had plastic surgery before. Her shape is not natural, okay? Yeah, it's not good.
Or I have showered, but you can still see the Sharpie lines on my stomach. But this is the snatched look I was going for, y'all. I am so happy, so satisfied. The scar does go from here to here, but it's going to heal. We'll get that lasered right off. Y'all, 10 out of 10.
She'll get that lasered right off, y'all. 10 out of 10. No, I would say below average, sweetheart, okay? And this is what thinks they're so high value. All right. Of course, she says she owns her own marketing agency. Maybe that's why she thinks she's high value, because she has moolah to be able to afford all this plastic surgery that she's trying to use to stave off father time. Oh, but there's more. There's more. So I just wanted to show you that plastic surgery video as a setup to just introduce you to who this person is and what qualities she has insofar as the physical. Yet now, no, she's not a blob, but she's clearly had lots of plastic surgery. That trunk doesn't look natural. That booty looks a little Kim Kardashian-ish. I don't like it. Her shape is not natural. She's had work done on the face too, obviously. So the first thing that a man is going to notice that he's going to see and be attracted to her looks are not so great. And now we move on to her new Matchmaker.
Y'all ready for the scoop on all the details of the new matchmaker that I hired? You get 3 coaching sessions and you get 10 presentations of potential matches.
So she needs more than 3 coaching sessions. This chick's been in therapy for like over a decade. She needs a new therapist. 3 coaching sessions, that's not going to cut it, sweetheart. And she gets like 10 matches. How much does this cost? A lot, I'm thinking.
And then you get 5 actual matches. I'm going to explain all of that. So the 3 coaching sessions really just ways for the matchmaker to get to know you. So yesterday we had the first one, and it was really just a deep dive on who I am, how I was raised, really not anything about what I'm looking for, which I thought was interesting. That's going to be on a future session. So once you have the 3 coaching sessions, then what they do is put together a profile for you, and then they source from their existing database of men. And remember, I used a national agency, so not just people based in Philly. And we're also going to cover, like, if I'm willing to relocate and all of that. And so they will search their whole database to see if there's anyone that's a fit. And if there's not, they will do the sourcing for me via LinkedIn, networking groups, and they will put together 10 presentations. And it's not going to be all at once. Like, hey, in a month, here's 10 presentations. It's like, kind of over time as they try to find people. So of the 10 presentations, you get 5 matches. The reason they say 10 presentations is because what if they present you with somebody and you look at them and you're like, yeah, they kind of fit like the physical things I'm looking for, but they also kind of look like my friend's husband, and you just like can't picture yourself. So they're 10, they don't think it's going to be like a home run every time, but of the 10, they think you can get 5. I'm doing this in tandem with the apps, and I've actually had like some pretty great dates in the past couple weeks with guys from apps who I think so far kind of fit my criteria. So I'm not mad, like, oh my God, what if I meet someone on the apps and I paid all this money? I'm not really worried about that. Just because whatever, I was willing to risk the $3,700 regardless. You're all gonna yell at me, but we're going back to tried and true because I don't have time to like deal with this today. But anyway, back to the matchmaker. So I've had some really great dates with guys from the apps, which I will do a video because they've all been really nice. They've all loved the viral video because of course they Googled me first before going out, and because we're normal human beings that Google people before you go out with them. And they loved it. One of the guys even texted me and was like, don't worry, I know how to be an alpha when dating. And I was like, oh, check. This video is all over the place, but some things I really liked about the matchmaker, chatting with her.
By the way, there's no such thing as turning on and off alpha, okay? You're either an alpha or you're not.
Or yesterday is number 1, she used to be on Broadway, which is really nice because I grew up backstage. So like, when they're asking about family history and everything, and I'm explaining, my mom works in theater, she works in entertainment, and like kind of that lifestyle, which is pretty unique, having a mom that works in entertainment. And so I felt like, I didn't have to explain too much. I was just like, oh yeah, my mom does that, blah, blah, blah. And she like got it. And overall, I felt like she was really easy to talk to, and I felt comfortable with her, because you have to like really dive in and get pretty personal. Okay, ready for my second date with, we'll call him Boatman.
Boatman, yeah. So I think I know why you got along so well with this new matchmaker. They want your money, $3,700. I'll get along with you well too. $3,700. I mean, wow, that's nuts. I don't think this is going to help you, honey, because you seem to be concerned about things that have nothing to do with anything in regards to matchmaking. What the heck does her having been on Broadway or involved in Broadway or acting have to do with matchmaking? Zero, zilch, nada. Except that she spent much of her life in a fantasy world, fantasy land, worlds that don't exist, playing roles that aren't her. Pretending to be other people. Well, that's great. That's exactly what you want in a matchmaker. I don't know what that has to do with matchmaking, but hey. So, she got a bunch of simpy dudes who looked her up and saw her online, and they're like, oh, we're okay with that. Yeah, they want to smash. That's all. They're just simply dudes. They just want to smash. If these are guys that actually want long-term relationships, they got to be the biggest losers on the planet. So you know she's not into them. He's going to bring his alpha energy. Get out of here. She's the alpha in any relationship. And if you don't let her be, well, have fun. Yeah, there's more, okay? There's more. So now this is one of her dates. So in addition to paying a dating company, a matchmaker, $3,700 for 5 matches, she's also throwing everything at the wall. Spaghetti, kitchen sink. She's throwing everything at this want, need, desire, obsession at this point to find herself a long-term partner. And she's usually using like Hinge and all that. And she thinks she's going to find somebody there. Okay.
This is how you do not plan a freaking date. You are going to get rejected. I am here going to show you with receipts. I pulled this one from the archive. Let's get into it.
She's real picky, by the way. She's rejecting guys left and right at 38. She's so fat and out of shape, she's having to get liposuction. She's so lazy. But she's picky.
On one date with this man, and I got right in that group chat after the first date telling the girlies, I think this guy is great. I had such a nice time with him. We had so much fun. We had a lot in common.
See, she really liked him. So, you know, of course, she did everything humanly possible to sabotage it.
Could not wait to go on a second date with him. A week or so later, he finally texts me and is like, hey, are you free Sunday for brunch?
So first, mistake right there. A week passed, she didn't text him. He had to text her back. Are you really that into him, honey? Yeah, but I want to pretend like I'm not so that I have more hands, that I have more power. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, great. That Saturday night, he sends me this text, are you still up for brunch? Yes, I'm still up for brunch. You're saying that 5 p.m. on Saturday, brunch assumingly would be Sunday, noon, 1. Yeah, what are you thinking? I could come your way if you know a good spot.
Okay, so we already see how disapproving she is and how picky and how critical she is and how she looks at every little tiny detail under a microscope, so much so that you're walking on eggshells and you're afraid to make a mistake. So you choose every word, every action with the utmost care, and even then you're not safe because she's just looking for the tiniest, slightest little thing that she could criticize based on some kind of arbitrary nonsense that she's just pulled out of her butt. And so he waited a week to get back to me, and when he did, he wanted to set up brunch for the next day. How dare he think I'm free? Wow. This is one uptight broad. Oh, and he put the onus on me. He wants to choose a place near me because that'll be more convenient for him. For whatever reason, maybe short on time, I don't know. And so look at her. Look at her face. She's affronted. She's offended. How dare he require me to, in any way, shape, or form, perform in the planning of this date. Well, it needs to be up to him, even though this is the bro that says that she's the leader and wants to be the leader, and that she wants to be in a relationship where they trade the leadership role back and forth, as if that's actually possible. Sometimes I'll lead, and then sometimes you can lead. That's not how it works.
Okay, let me do the heavy lifting for you, buddy.
Oh, yeah, that's real heavy lifting, honey. Yeah, look at how put upon she is. You see? She's looking for things to be offended by so she can find an excuse to toss this guy to the wayside. $3,700 out the window.
So I give him a list of these places and I add, not sure if any take a res. Meaning, hey buddy, I'm giving you 3 options of places I'd like to go, but you...
Buddy? She's so dismissive. I hate this broad.
You are going to have to do the footwork to determine whether or not they even require reservations. A lot of brunch places don't, or what the deal is.
You didn't say that to him, though. Right? No communication. He's supposed to read your mind. Right. And didn't you just say you're having to do the heavy lifting? Meanwhile, what did you do? You thought of 3 places near your house, but that's the heavy lifting? Okay.
He says, oh, the Dutch eye. Not even sure what that means. Like,
are you stupid? He's like, oh, the Dutch, eh? He wants to go to the Dutch. So, 9:45, a.m. He contacted you. Was it 9:45 or what was the time? Or is that the follow-up message? Okay, so he contacted you that night? I can't see the time. She's moving her head around and blocking the visuals.
Oh, is that a plan? No. So then that morning, I get a text.
Okay, so the night before, the day before, he shows interest in the Dutch, eh? She didn't reply. So he had to triple text her. Oh my God, this chick is clueless. So essentially, he shows interest. Okay, the Dutch eye, that's him saying that the Dutch looks good. And she doesn't say anything. She doesn't deign to reply. That's lovely.
From him, howdy, how does two sound? I never heard back from him the night before, so what?
He didn't hear back from you, dummy. The way it's supposed to work is he texts you, and then you text back. The dude was probably so afraid to send you double text, thinking you might freak out. Criticize that. He's like, better play it safe and not double text her. I don't want to seem desperate.
What do I say? Oh, when I didn't hear back last night about a reservation or anything concrete, I made plans for this afternoon.
Hey, she didn't have no plans. That's a bunch of crap.
You cannot, for a second date, try and make plans the morning of.
He tried to make plans the day before. You didn't reply because your holier than thou attitude. And how everything has to fit some kind of arbitrary criteria that exists only in your freaking head, but he's supposed to supposedly know about. What a nut!
In less than 24 hours. Like, your girl is busy. We are not sitting around waiting for you to reach out. Goodbye. And so what is his response? Okay, cool. He, I think, got the point. But either way, I was like, this has to be like one of the laziest attempts at putting
this from a person who can't be bothered to text him back. Lazy attempts. What did he do wrong? The way this woman's talking, you would think he messed up in some huge, substantial way. Everything I hear from this bro, I'll do the heavy lifting, buddy. Oh, he really screwed up big time. She's making mountains out of molehills so she can sabotage the possibility of any relationship occurring because she's such damaged goods. What a mess this chick is.
a second date together. Like, bro, second date.
Bro?
What are you doing? You missed out is what happened.
Oh, you think he missed out? Oh, I love the superior elitist attitude. He missed out because you're such a catch. You're so wonderful. A woman, I might add. And you know how easy men are. And she's not the worst looking broad. A woman who has to pay people thousands of dollars just to get dates with men. But somehow, he missed out. Yeah, I don't think so. I think this guy got lucky. So this elitist, dismissive, higher on her own farts, holier than thou chick is back in this video, and she's updating us on the Dutch guy, as she frames him, because, you know, can't use names, can't even make up a false name. That might humanize him in my eyes. I gotta totally, completely dehumanize these men that I go out with, because that's really the way I see them. I don't see them as human. I don't see them as my equals. I think I'm better than everybody on this planet. So this superior, holier than thou broad has an update for us. Let's take a listen.
Have an update on the Dutch eye. Our Dutch boy has come back, and
yeah, this guy, he wasn't clear enough in his response, so I didn't deign to reply to him because he didn't respond to me in a way that was clear enough. And instead of, you know, asking him, what do you mean by the Dutch, I just ignored him and I didn't get back to him. And then I blamed him for the, relationship not starting and not getting a second date. Lovely. Yeah. I think I see why she's single.
I have the receipts. Let's get into it. Today is Tuesday. He messaged me Sunday morning. Hey, good morning. And I about died, y'all. Honestly.
Yeah, this guy's nuts.
I was like, oh my God, did he see the viral TikTok and he is coming for me? But nope, he just wanted to check in, see how I was doing. We had a cute little chat about the snow because it's been snowing in Philly, and
I'm sure she found something wrong with that. His small talk was banal. It was boring. It just wasn't really doing it for me.
And my car has been buried outside under the snow, so I let him know about that. Cute little catch up. Then he asks about a second date. I'm going to give him some leeway on this. Retry to make this second happen.
No. He tried. You ignored him, and then you blamed him.
I'm pretty sure what he meant to say is ready to make this second date happen.
I'm pretty sure he meant this. I'm going to correct his grammar, his word usage, his word order. I'm going to explain what he meant to you because clearly you out there are too stupid to figure out what he meant for yourselves. And he's just not clear enough. He's just not a good enough communicator. So let me translate for you. Wow, what a low opinion she has of men.
Probably was moving a little fast. I'll forgive the typo. And so I respond, yes, I'd love to, because I would. And
She'll forgive the typo, as if that's some huge deal. Jesus.
Here's where it gets interesting. The next part of the communication is where I just get confused. No, when are you free? Do you want to go here? There's no forward movement with the conversation. I will say, you all in my comments said that I needed to be more forthcoming with communication as well. So I did ask for what I want and communicated my needs. I said, I love a solid plan, so the ball is in your court. I'm free Saturday. All true things. And I agree, I need to let my needs be known. And so I did that. And he said he'll plan something as we get closer. So we will see what happens. We will see how well thought out the plan is, because that is a standard and boundary of mine while I'm dating. I like the man to have a well thought out plan. So stay.
Yeah, by the way, nothing happened. It went nowhere, and he did or said something. I don't remember exactly. There was another video, maybe. I'm not sure. If I recall, she just found something else wrong with the guy and then tossed him aside, even though she supposedly liked him. But he wasn't perfect. He made mistakes, you see. His grammar was wrong. He didn't explain things quite right. It was a little confusing. He required me to communicate with him. I don't believe in give and take. I just believe in taking. Yeah. There's more. Oh, yeah. So here she is again. Looks like a dude in this pic. God. That's still framed there. So this chick seems to be on like a dating bonanza. She's going out on tons of dates now. You know, she's in a hurry. Gee, I wonder why. She's only 38. Getting tons of plastic surgery. I wonder why she's in a hurry. Yeah. And she's found yet another reason to, well, she sabotaged yet another possible relationship. Check this out.
Another rejection story. I know you guys love them. This time, rejected by an Android user. Y'all.
Now, notice she's got an issue with Android users. I don't get this. What's wrong with using an Android? I think people who use Apples think that if you've got an Android, you're either like broke or you don't have any money, you're cheap or something. You just don't want to invest your money in an Apple, because if you had the money, you would have an Apple, because that's some wonderful, awesome status symbol. Maybe he's just a minimalist. A lot of dudes are minimalists and not very materialistic, huh? They're utilitarian in nature. Men are, generally speaking. I have an Android. Why'd I get it instead of an Apple? And I could have gotten an Apple. Because, yeah, it's cheaper. Well, I could have afforded the Apple, but I didn't get the Apple because I saw no difference whatsoever. And, in fact, my research showed me that the phone I bought was actually better quality. So you're just paying for a name. A dude is going to be like, well, if I could save $500, it does the same exact thing. Why wouldn't I save $500? Oh, but in her tiny little mind, that means he's broke or a loser or something. Yeah.
Android people are wild. I matched with this guy on Hinge.
Wow.
I noticed he had green text, so of course I had to give him a little shit about having an Android.
What? Why? That would be like if you have a not green text, and I know you're using an Apple. I'm going to give you, a problem with that. Why? Why would you need to give him anything? I don't understand why you would do that. You're a woman who claims to be desperate to find a man, and you're doing everything you can to provoke and alienate somebody based on the most minute, arbitrary, nonsensical things. I don't understand.
As one of my friends pointed out, this is literally the oldest joke in the book. Oh, you have an Android? It's a red flag, because obviously I have an iPhone. He literally said he didn't want to go out because of the fixation on the difference in our phone types.
You're the one with the fixation. You're the one that brought it up.
And how is that a turnoff? It's literally the oldest joke in the book. How about, sir, it's a turnoff that you do not have a sense of humor and you are so attached to your phone that you can't take the joke. I mean,
yeah, he's the problem. Oh, yeah. Hey, thanks for reaching out. The preoccupation with phone types as an introduction and fixation is a turnoff. Good luck with everything. So he has an issue with you being such an elitist snob right out the gate, but he's the one with the fixation. See how she's turning it around? No accountability whatsoever. Yeah, it's a mystery why she's single. Oh, but we're not done. There's more. So, another failure. And I found these videos again and again and again. And I tell you, if I covered all the videos on her channel, her TikTok, that talked about her failed attempts to find a dude that she thinks is suitable for her, I'd be here for hours. I'd be here for hours just reviewing little 1 and 2 minute clips. They're that many. But she doesn't think she's the problem, even though she's the common denominator. All right, let's listen to why this guy didn't work out.
another rejection story, and no, I am not excited to share this one, and I might cry because I was so excited about this guy.
Look excited.
Let's get into it. This was a 4th date with a great guy, and not just like dinner. This was literally like a 15-hour date, preceded by a 3rd date that was
Uh-oh. Tattoos. Oh boy. Red flag there.
about 10 to 15 hours. So we had been spending a lot of time together. Communication was on point. We had talked about making future
I love how the way she talks so exactingly. Communication was on point.
plans of like, let's go on this trip.
Fit all my arbitrary criteria.
Let's go to this concert, whatever. During the date, I started to feel a cold sore coming on. And I said several times on the date, I think I'm getting a cold sore. Not thinking I had to explain what a cold sore was.
Right, because any idiot knows that, cold sore doesn't mean I have herpes, which is what it rather than likely means.
I thought the general public, because 90% of people get cold sores,
I've never had one in my entire life.
I didn't need to explain what it was. Later that night, we were talking about it more, and I clarified because he didn't understand what a cold sore
Yeah, he's such a dummy.
was. So I explained where it comes from, how.
By the way, I know I'm stopping this a lot. I just can't help myself. Is it just me, or does anybody feel like this chick is one of the most condescending, superior people you've seen in a long time? She's so obnoxious. I can't stand her.
It's very common. What category of viral diseases, I should say, that it's in, which is the herpes virus.
Right.
Definitely, I could tell was freaking him out. And there
You've got herpes. Yeah. She's got herpes! Allegedly, so not only does she have a horrible personality, all these arbitrary qualifiers, want you to be a mind reader, she polices your language, and if you make one misstep in your grammar, or choosing the wrong word, or a typo in a message, you're out of there! But she's got herpes. Maybe. And in addition to all this wonderful personality traits. Great. Yeah, she's a catch.
there was a lot of tension. And so I suggested that maybe he leave. Mind you, I should mention,
Why?
this man had a lot
Why would you get offended, by the way? Why would you get offended if she doesn't have herpes? Right? Because she probably does.
going on. I'm not going to get into all of that. But a lot of things that I was
Yeah, there's a lot going on said there. She's not going to get into all of that. Oh, because it would indict me, right? Yeah. Whoa, look at that. Crazy eyes. Look at that. That's the perfect. She looks about 20 years older there. And the crazy eyes. Yeah.
like, okay, this is not something I would normally go for, but he's so nice and like so kind. Just like our connection feels so good. So there were so many things.
Translation. He was hot. You could tolerate her for more than 2 seconds. Oh, he probably had more money than her. Yeah, probably had more money than her. Okay, continue.
Going on that I was like, I feel like we have a strong connection. I'm going to look past it. And no one is perfect. Everyone is flawed. He texted me this. He can't get past the cold sore situation.
Look past what, by the way? Get past your herpes and STD? I wouldn't get past it either.
And that he wishes I had mentioned it earlier, which I explained to him. I didn't mention it earlier because it's a non-issue for most of my life, but I don't know.
Most of her life, so she does have herpes. She has herpes. But she's had herpes most of her life because she's probably been a 304 since she was a teenager, which is probably when she got it. It's not a real issue, really. It's an issue if I want to, do anything with you, because it's extremely communicable. I don't want to get herpes. Bye.
If maybe he heard the word herpes and got scared because that's a big, scary word.
Yeah.
But also to be unforgiving about one flaw in somebody is a giant red flag to me.
Oh my God! This is a woman that literally dumped a guy because he had bad grammar and she didn't approve of the way that he typed text messages. Oh my God!
I just really think we need to destigmatize cold sores just because.
You have herpes. The cold sore is a symptom of herpes. It's not the cold sore that he has a problem with. What he has a problem with is that you have an STD and he doesn't want to get it. You dummy!
Because they're in the herpes category. It's no different than getting chicken pox, shingles, all of those things.
It is different. You get chicken pox once, and then it goes away. Same with the shingles, I think. Herpes is for life. You don't?
Just wild that people are uneducated about this and unforgiving about it when it's literally not the biggest deal in the entire world.
Meanwhile, you don't forgive anybody for anything, even the smallest slight, which aren't really slights in anybody's mind except yours. That's just great. This picky, high and mighty broad has herpes. Okay, so Miss Herpes is back. Allegedly, rumor has it that she has the H, but she's a catch. Listen to this coping right here. Now, I wanted to cover this video because this is where she is reviewing all of the men out there that fit the category that she wants, and you're going to see how delusional she is. Check this out.
How many single men actually live in my city?
Now, notice this is going to prove my point, and prove a point that many other R-Pill content producers have been making. When she says single men, she only means the top 5 or 10% of men. When women say single, they are talking about the men that they find acceptable, which are a small niche of the population. Watch.
I have a marketing company, and I thought, why not use the tools available to me to research audience demographics using Facebook audiences? I looked up how many single men there are in Philly. Check out what I found. Before we get into it, remember, this is just single men, and this does not include anything about height or sexual orientation. So some of these men are probably gay.
If not now, they will be after going out with you.
Philadelphia, ages 35 to 45, relationship status single or unspecified, and also their household income is within the top 5% of.
Top 5%, 316K or more. 38-year-old herpy cold sore girl who is impossibly obnoxious and holier than thou and snide and rude and condescending and thinks she's a great catch at 38. Wants a dude that makes 316,000 plus or more a year. Yeah.
All U.S. zip codes. You ready? Between 6,700 and 7,900. That's actually a fair amount. And again...
No, it's not! You know why it's not? Number one, 67 to 7,900 is not a big number, generally speaking. Maybe if you hoard them all into one auditorium, seems like a lot. But it's not a lot for a city like Philadelphia, which is a big major city. Add to that, every woman out there and their mother wants these dudes, so you're having to compete with a bunch of broads that are 15 years younger than you and are fertile and don't have your horrible personality. Yeah, your odds don't look so good now, do they, sweetheart? She does look at that aspect, of course. Yeah, she does have that level of self-awareness.
Doesn't take into consideration if they're gay or straight, or how tall they are, or if they're balding.
Yeah, we can't have that. Me and my herpes-ridden, 38-year-old butt.
But that's a pretty good estimate. While I was at it, I thought I would look up a couple other cities. Where are my New York girlies? You want to see how many are in your city? Between 70,000 and 83,000. That?
Yeah, notice what she's focusing on. So we know what she's looking for now. I've been proven right. 38-year-old, barren, STD-ridden, cold sore-riddled creature who thinks she's the bomb and clearly has disdain for men, wants a top 5%er dude. Of course she does. There's one more video, one more, let's get to it. So final video I'm going to review of this chick. Let's get to it.
No one can say that I'm out here not trying. Your girl is out here trying. I went on 3 separate dates this weekend. Let's recap. Date I went on Friday. I have to show you because the execution of this date was fire. Ladies, raise your standards. We should be settling for nothing less. Let's get into it.
What? She's addicted to dating, I think, and giving younger women bad advice so she has less competition. She's sabotaging the competition, I guess. Settle for nothing less. Oh my God.
So I heard y'all on my profile, I used to have it say the way to ask me out is a fully executed date, and y'all gave me feedback. I changed it. So it says having a fully formed plan for the date and a reservation. So let me show you what this man came with. I was in New York City, so you will see I was in Tribeca, and I let him know that's where I would be and that I will trust him if he has ideas in that area. This was also a very last minute Hinge coordinated date, but look what he came up with. I'll make that work just for you. Still finish.
Is she still riding the CC? I don't really think she's seriously looking for a man. Who seriously looks for a long-term relationship, i.e. marriage or something like that, on Hinge?
Finishing up work, shall we plan for 7 or 8 near Tribeca? I'll make a solid plan. Round of applause for him. Yes, let's go. We can go at 8.
And of course, he's not an Android user, so that's a plus. She'd already saboted if she saw green, green text, right?
Working on a plan between meetings. Y'all, this man has an extremely high, powerful job in a corporate industry, whatever. I'm not going to go into what his job is. Very, very high level at his company, and he
must be one of these dudes that has so much pressure on him that in his daily life he wants to be like a simp. Like he wants to be one of these dudes that's led around on a leash, you know. It puts on like a dog collar and a dog mask, and you know, she's the mistress and she's the dominatrix, and he's like the sub. This guy sounds like a total simp.
He's gonna make a plan between meetings. If he wanted to, he would. Ladies, let me show you the plan he gave us. Game plan. Meet at Loring Place, Greenwich Village, 8:30. Best I could do on a couple hours notice. Sound good? Yes, that sounds good. I don't have to come up with a list of places.
So it's okay for her to, wait. Didn't she say that it's totally, completely out of bounds and inconsiderate and incorrect and just out of line to expect another person to make plans at the last minute? Only if that person demands that I make plans with them at the last minute. If I demand it of them, it's okay.
I want to go. I feel like you've got it taken care of. That's no problem. I will be there. But then we had a little bit of a hiccup because he sent me the resi. Just on the resi link, it said 8:45. So I verified, and look what he said.
So she's checking up, right? Yeah, she doesn't trust this guy. She actually doesn't trust him. She actually checked up on his work and found it to be wanting. Because of course she did.
The resi says 8:45. Should I head there at 8:30? Let's meet at 8:30. I'll wait for you if 8:45 works better. He's going to arrive at 8:15 to make sure that everything is organized and coordinated. Y'all?
Loser.
10 out of 10 points for this. This man knew how to plan a date, organize a date, make a reservation. He handled it. 100%. There is nothing more attractive than this sort of execution of planning a date. Ladies.
And yet,
Let's go. I will say, he was super, super nice. I had a really lovely time, but there was just no there was no vibe. We went to this restaurant, had dinner. We went to another restaurant for dessert and champagne. It was a lovely evening, but I just didn't feel like a strong connection. However, I will give this man props for...
See, I got to stop it here. Otherwise, if I wait till the end, I might forget. My short-term memory's crap. Even though she says that nothing is more attractive than a dude that goes to all this effort, he's simping. She says jump, he says how high. He's doing everything he can to please and satisfy her. In fact, he's going above and beyond. It's at 8:45. Well, I'll show up at 8:15 just to make sure that the red carpet is rolled out for you, sweetie. Even though she says that's what's most attractive to her, she didn't find him attractive, even though that's what she finds most attractive, which actually isn't what she finds most attractive. So women don't know what they want.
Executing and planning a date that was fire on last minute's notice when he has a very powerful job and did it all in between meetings. So 10 out of 10. Saturday late night, he was nice and really, really cute, but there was like no substance there. So that's not going to make its way to a second date. The date before that was Saturday for dinner. He was probably the most condescending human I've ever met in my entire life. And
you need to look in a mirror, honey.
And self-absorbed, arrogant, just spoke down to me the entire time. So obviously,
I think he saw her TikToks and wanted to give her a dose of her own medicine. He was just trolling and toying with you. Get you to see if you saw the mirror reflection of yourself. I guess you didn't.
That will not be a second date. Overall, we will not be seeing any of these men again.
Of course not! That's not the point! The point is that failure after failure after failure, so you can tell yourself, well, I tried! It's not my fault! Lovely! That's just great. Wow. So there you go! There you go. That is one big horse's mouth, by the way. Look at the size of that pie hole. Good Lord, she needs to shut it. By the way, that's half her problem right there. Talks too much. Wow. Well, so is anybody out there mystified as to why this chick is single? I know I'm not. So let me know what you think of this specimen who was apparently confronted by her male doppelganger, the male version of herself, and didn't recognize herself, but she was repulsed by herself. Without knowing she was talking to herself. This person's so lacking in self-awareness that, pot, kettle, black, they don't see it. But let me know what you think. Is she as attractive as she thinks she is? Is she as wonderful as she thinks she is? Is she as smart as she clearly thinks she is? And does the arrogance that she portrays to the world, well, is it justified? Is arrogance ever justified? And if so, is it justified in this case? Let me know what you think in the comment section. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. On YouTube, I am Bachelor Philosopher. On Alt Tech, I am the Realist Philosopher. So follow me on Rumble, follow me on BitChute. And of course, if you'd like to contribute, I have a Patreon page. Patreon, I am the Realist Philosopher. And Super Chats are also active here on YouTube if you'd like to make a donation. And on that note, I'm out of here. I am Bachelor Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care.